Hi guys! So today I'm going to talk to you about my experience with Accutane and the side effects that I experienced, and just kind of help you decide whether you would like to take Accutane and whether you think it is something that would help you. So for those of you who don't know what Accutane is, it is basically a very saturated form of vitamin A, which basically, okay, I am not a scientist, so I can't explain it scientifically, but in simple terms, what it does is it pretty much almost completely stops your body's ability to produce oil. So it kind of almost shuts down your oil glands, and that's why so many people who take Accutane, their skin goes extremely dry, because your skin is simply not able to produce oil anymore. So, okay, so for my experience with Accutane, I did research on it. I looked at websites. I watched videos on YouTube. I watched Juicy Star 07 and Elle, her sister's videos about their experience with Accutane, and then I also watched Amarixe. I'll link their channels down below in case you guys want to check it out. But yeah, so I did quite a lot of research, so I was going into it, knowing what I'm doing. Basically, a bit of a background story so that you guys know, about my skin and my skin type, to kind of help you see whether this is something for you. Okay, so I have very, very oily skin. Like, it's not oily, yeah. Like, I have to blot my face several times a day. Like, I put my makeup on in the morning. I put on matte foundation. I put on powder that's also mattifying. And then within like 2.5 hours, my skin starts getting oily. Like, it's that bad. And it was really bad. So I also had cystic acne. I started getting acne when I was around, I want to say 13, 14, and it was mild. But then I started getting like cystic acne, which, it hurts, and whitehead, which, you pop. I know it's disgusting, but yeah, I had a lot of acne. It was really bad. Basically, yeah, I decided that that was enough. I really didn't like it because I would literally spend hours putting my makeup on, because it's not nice when people see your acne showing through. You want to cover it up. So yeah, I've had enough of it. And okay, Accutane is prescribed usually for very, very severe acne. And while my acne was pretty bad, I think I was a bit subjective, because even if you have mild acne, it's still bad. You still want to get rid of it. So that was kind of, my point of view. Like, I really didn't like it. I just wanted to get rid of it. So I went to my dermatologist, and she said, okay, we will try out a few pills and, see if that helps, and then try kind of skincare stuff. And I tried a couple of skin products that she gave me that were prescribed, so you couldn't get them off the counter. And that helped for a while, but then it stopped helping. So I took Accutane for about 6-7 months. And okay, so yeah, I guess that's it. Now I guess I'll get into how it helped me and the side effects. Okay, so one of the biggest things with Accutane that, if you are kind of considering taking Accutane, I assume that you've already done some research, so to some extent. But if you don't, the biggest side effect that they talk about is depression. You get depressed, and that did happen to me. However, I just want to clarify something. During the time that I was taking Accutane, there were a lot of negative things overlapping in my life. I had my IGCSE exams. It's like British. It's before A levels, so it's pretty important, and I was really stressed out. I was doing that. Then I've also just broken up with my boyfriend a month before I started taking Accutane. And yeah, and it was a dark time in my life. And okay, I can't vouch 100% that the depression was due to Accutane, but I can tell you that after I stopped taking it, it did get better. I did kind of feel almost like a lift off of my shoulders, if that makes sense. So I guess kind of, yes. But again, it's not 100% sure that my depression was due to Accutane. Another thing is, if you get pregnant, there's like, I think, a 99% chance that your child is going to have severe problems and it can even cause death. Now, I was 15 at the time I was taking Accutane, so I knew that I'm not going to be involved in any sexual acts. However, doctors, they just don't trust you. They say you have to have birth control, you have to have it, because the risks are extremely, extremely high. So, it might happen by an accident that you get pregnant, there are times that it's not planned, so they just make sure, okay? And the thing with that is, I think weight gain, it's not considered a side effect. So I've read some forums online about, whether people have gained weight from Accutane, and many said no. So it's not technically considered a side effect, but there are certain people I know of who gained weight. There was a girl at my school who actually, she was the one who kind of convinced me that it's a good thing to go on Accutane, and she also gained a couple of kilograms. Now, I gained quite a lot of weight, but then again, keeping in mind I was going through a dark time in my life, I know that I started eating more during that time, so the weight gain could be just because I was eating more. It wasn't just because of Accutane. Another side effect it can cause is hair loss, and that also did happen to me, and that's something I'm very annoyed about, because my hair is still falling out, and I've been off of Accutane since December, so it's been almost half a year, and I'm very, it's not nice when your hair falls out, and it's not like I'm balding, but it's definitely falling out, and I'm really annoyed about that. So yeah, they do say that it's short term, but for me it wasn't. For me, it was very much long term, because it's still taking place, and it's been 6 months. They list some other side effects. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. I'll basically link down the website that I originally looked at for all the side effects and for all of my information when deciding on whether or not to go on Accutane. I'll link it down below for you guys. So yeah, okay, now talking about how it improved my skin. Okay, it definitely helped. While I was taking Accutane, my skin was extremely dry. That's also another side effect. Your skin, it gets really dry. Keeping in mind that my skin was very, very oily, by the time I was into the 3rd month, my skin was peeling off. Like, I would have red patches all over my face because it was so incredibly dry, and you could literally peel off your skin because it was just like the layers where it was coming off. It was pretty easy to cover with makeup. Now, yeah, keeping in mind that my skin is oily, I can't imagine what it's like to be on Accutane if your skin is originally dry. However, you never know. There are certain people like Elle, for example, on YouTube. She had dry skin, she went on Accutane, and it helped her. My friend who was in the same school with me, who also took Accutane, her skin was also very oily when she started. However, after she finished, her skin went dry, and it stayed that way. For me, after I stopped taking Accutane, after about a month and a half, it got back to its original kind of oiliness levels. So I was very disappointed in that. Now, with Accutane, it's kind of considered like a last resort for people with bad skin, because it's extremely strong. They prescribe it to you according to your weight, and according, I guess, to how bad your acne is. They say that it's a permanent thing. For me, it was not permanent. Don't get me wrong, I am extremely happy I took it, because my skin right now, you can't even compare it to how my skin was before. However, I do get pimples now, but I have to say that right now I notice that the pimples, they're not caused by the oil as much as by my diet. So I noticed that if, like, for example, I start off the week eating really healthy, like no kind of processed stuff, no sugar, I don't eat much chocolate, stuff like that, my skin clears up and it actually looks nice. And then once I start including those foods back in, it goes back and I start breaking out again. I have to say the result wasn't exactly what I wanted, especially due to all the side effects that I experienced. I do have to say I really did enjoy having my skin completely dry and not even having to worry about looking in the mirror, because I knew that my makeup wasn't slipping off. I just knew that it was going to be there and, you know, like holding on my face. Yeah, I have to say I'm not 100% happy with how it turned out, but I am glad I did it, and I would recommend to do it because, you know, you really can't, you can watch all these videos and read all these articles, and of course there is a general trend that goes with taking Accutane, that goes with the side effects that you experience, but every single person is different. Their body, their skin, everything is different, so you really can't, you know, expect for your side effects to be exactly like everyone else's, because they won't be. They will be completely different or slightly different, but they will be different. And I just, yeah, I want to point that out, that if you are considering it, basically, if you are considering it and you're watching this video, I'm saying do it, go on Accutane. If your skin is really bad and if you feel like you're sick of it, you're tired of having acne, it's painful, it's, you know, it's damaging your self-esteem, go for it. I did, I'm happy with what I did. Yes, I had to go through a lot of obstacles to get past it, I guess, but, you know, now I'm happy with everything. You know, I do wish my skin was 100% clear, but the world is not a wish-granting factory. Yeah, I guess that's it. So comment down below if this video helped you guys and if it helps you decide on whether or not you guys want to take Accutane and if you want to go on the course. Also tell me how, if you have experienced Accutane, help other people who are also wondering about whether they want to go on it or not, and comment down below and say, you know, how the experience was for you and how, whether or not you think it's a good thing to go through, or whether you would rather say don't go through it and just try to treat it with products, you know? Okay, so I love you guys and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!